The official conclusion of Dexter Original Sin Season 1 sets up a lot for Season 2 and beyond. In its first run from 2006 to 2008, the television program Dexter didn't leave much to chance. We discovered everything we needed to know about Dexter during the first 8 seasons, including his father's troubled past, his secret brother, and how he became a moral serial killer, or as moral as a serial killer can be. The claim that anyone was genuinely calling for a Dexter prequel is untrue, and the reason it was approved was primarily due to Dexter Morgan's tragic death at the conclusion of Dexter New Blood. Naturally, that didn't stop Showtime from later coming up with a plan to bring Dexter back to life for the Dexter Resurrection sequel series. Dexter Original Sin was a delightful appetizer that shocked viewers with its endearing ensemble, witty writing, and entertaining twists and turns that left viewers guessing until tonight's conclusion, even if it is probably going to be the main entree for many fans. It turned out that there was still a lot to discover about Dexter and his family coworkers, and this will probably lead to several further seasons that cover the missing information from the first series. When fans discovered a few weeks ago that Captain Aaron Spencer is the primary antagonist in Dexter Original Sin, they were very taken aback. Given that Dexter is still learning the ropes of vigilantism, it would imply that he wasn't the first or only murderer in Miami Metro and present an intriguing dilemma for him. That being stated, Dexter follows Spencer to an abandoned ship where he has been housing his kid, Nikki, in the opening scene of Dexter Original Sin Episode 10, Code Blues. After a brief battle between Dexter and Spencer, Spencer starts flooding the room where Nikki is being held in order to free him. Naturally, this puts Dexter in a difficult situation, where he must decide whether to pursue Spencer or save Nikki. Dexter decides to save the youngster and fires a flare-up to allow the cops to rescue Nikki before continuing his search for the captain. He eventually discovers Spencer trying to assassinate his ex-wife at her home and confesses that Nikki is actually the kid of a liaison with her current spouse. Before anything horrible occurs, Dexter subdues Spencer and takes him out to sea on Camilla's boat. Given Harry's affairs, Spencer sows the notion that there might be more to his background than first meets the eye, but Dexter murders him before he can find out. Harry is looking into the murder of Barb, the social worker who removed Brian Moser from the Morgan family when he was a youngster, in another part of the episode. After assembling the parts, Harry confronts Brian on a nearby rooftop where the serial killer has been watching his own crime scene in the hopes that Dexter will arrive. Brian's preoccupation with Dexter is brought up by Harry, who advises him to give up on him. Brian blames Harry for all that has transpired and vents his rage and all the suffering he has endured. Harry eventually persuades Brian that he is probably better for him than Brian, but Brian knocks Harry unconscious and gets away to avoid going to jail. Bobby Watt emerges from his coma following a wild night, allowing Harry to return home and relax. When Dexter gets home, he finds Harry watching the news, which informs him that Nikki was arrested by the police and that his father was exposed as the kidnapper. Although he lets Dexter have his "you were right" moment, Harry is upset that he hasn't let his son behave. When Dexter admits to killing Spencer and sparing Nikki, his father applauds him because it demonstrates that the code is functioning as planned and that he was able to restrain his bloodlust while saving a life. Later, when Dexter, Deb, and Harry go out to lunch, Deb discloses that she declined a scholarship to attend FSU in order to attend the police school because she was motivated by Tanya, LaGuardia, and Camilla. Before Dexter joins Deb to dance, he and Harry continue to strategize for a future in which Dexter can utilize the code permanently. Outside the restaurant, Brian sulks while observing the family having a good time. There is plenty of opportunity to explore new stories because Dexter Original Sin is set around 15 years before the original show premiered. Dexter has plenty of victims he can still kill because there are many blood slides and bodies at the ocean's bottom when he first starts. Having said that, Original Sin does a good job of laying forth its future. All of this positions the original program well in the event that Showtime decides against pursuing a Season 2, which is likely a mistake considering the show has established records for the network. Deb is pursuing a career in law enforcement, Dexter is pursuing a career as a deadly vigilant, and Brian is pursuing Dexter, anticipating his next move. Here are some possible on-screen representations of these topics, though, should they decide to move on with the second season. To begin with, it will be fascinating to watch Deb advance in her career. Fans are aware that she begins the first season of Vice as an undercover prostitute before moving on to Homicide. Naturally, that will likely result in some captivating tales for Deb that illustrate her struggles. Naturally, Dexter will keep killing. We will probably learn how that unfolded from Harry's point of view in a future season of Dexter Original Sin, as the original show states that Harry killed himself after realizing the monster he created. Maybe the solution wasn't as simple as we first believed. Given that Dexter Original Sin shows that Brian Moser has been around from the beginning, it's plausible that we will learn that he killed Harry in order to remove him from the story. Although it's unknown if Brian will make a comeback in later seasons, we might occasionally glimpse him as he transforms into Rudy Cooper. It's unclear if Brian continues to murder others in Dexter Original Sin before turning into the ice truck killer, because he goes missing for more than 10 years. We have not yet received confirmation of Dexter Original Sin Season 2, but if it is occurring, we should hear soon.